The Unfiltered by Jade.
Jade. Welcome to The Unfiltered by Jade, where we educate, empower, and entertain. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, download, donate, and make everybody know about this.
Beats by RB Records.
Shopping assistance, your style, your budget. Our services include online and local shopping for individuals and businesses, personal shopping, purchasing of company and office supplies, importing and exporting small packages across Jamaica and worldwide, and helping you find unique gifts and items for all events and occasions. Contact us at 876-919-5195 or shoppingassistance2015@gmail.com. Shopping Assistance, your style, your budget.
Welcome back to the Unfiltered by Jade. Today we have with us here Makayla Walker, and we're here to speak today about tube removal, or the other name, salpingectomy. Hi Makayla, how are you?
Hello, how are you doing?
I am good. How are you?
I am well. I am well.
Okay, so Makayla, she's a mother, author, postpartum advocate, and a maternal mortality advocate. So we're here to speak to you about salpingectomy, Makayla. So first of all, for our listeners who don't know, what is salpingectomy?
Salpingectomy is the removal of the fallopian tube. And sometimes women can get one tube removed or they may get both tubes removed.
Okay, and that is for the reason of?
Sometimes women have to get this done if they decide that they are finished having children.
Mhm.
And that if you don't have any tubes, then the likelihood of you getting pregnant is slim to none.
Right.
Um,
Mm.
And then other reasons women may have this done is for medical reasons. Um, some of the latest research shows that ovarian cancer actually starts in the fallopian tube. So if you have any abnormalities come back during an exam, or it's found that your fallopian tubes may have tumors or cancerous cells, they'll be removed. Also, severe cases of endometriosis can result in getting your tubes removed.
What distinguishes a salpingectomy from other surgical procedures related to the fallopian tubes, and how does this procedure impact a person's reproductive health?
So, salpingectomy is very distinctive. You're getting your tubes or tube removed, and that's very different from like a hysterectomy or anything. The tubes are being removed during this procedure, and this affects your reproductive system. Of course, you'll still have your menstrual cycle every month,
Hmm. Hmm.
but you will not be able to get pregnant on your own anymore. You don't have your tubes, and so the egg has nowhere to travel
Right.
down. So you will not be able to bear children anymore. And I do want to say, in rare cases, if you have this procedure done and you end up finding yourself with a pregnancy test that is positive, that is an emergency situation. Now, it does not
Really?
happen often, but it does happen, and that's an emergency situation. Because
What
that
what
means
can
that
be the cause of that?
so when the doctor goes in and remove your tubes or your tube, all they're doing is clipping it off, and so there's a little bit of tissue that's left, and that's why your chances are getting pregnant are slim to none. But it's not impossible. The pregnancy may happen right there in the space where the tube was cut, and
Hmm.
so that would require you to have an emergency procedure done. So if you have this procedure done and you find yourself with a positive pregnancy test, you need to contact your doctor immediately.
Wow. Because it can be life threatening.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can.
Mm. Hmm. For individuals considering a salpingectomy, what are some common misconceptions or concerns about the procedure, and how can these concerns be addressed to facilitate informed decision making?
So, of course, you'll speak to your provider
Hmm.
before this surgery. This is not something that they like to do,
Hmm.
especially if it's not necessary. Even if you don't want to have any more children, they let you think about it over time, because once this procedure is done, that's it. It's no reversal. I know years ago they used to tie the tubes, and women could get their tubes untied. But if the provider removes your tubes, that's it. You won't be able to get pregnant anymore on your own. Um, Misconceptions. I know that for me, I thought that once I got this procedure done, that I would not have my cycle anymore. I'm like, well, where's the egg gonna travel? No, you will still have your cycle. You'll still have your cycle. And that's pretty much it. I feel
So
like
for
if you have
mhm.
any like really real questions, speak to also your family members. Um, Maybe they've had it done. They can share things with you, but more so speak to your provider. They will be the one with the informed answer.
So for people who, so two questions for people who are not sure if they want kids. This is not a procedure for them.
No, definitely not. And the
And
doctor won't provide this them with that surgery. Like I said, unless it's like an emergency situation, like they found an abnormality on your pelvic exam, or you've been found to have tumors in your tubes, or you have a severe case of endometriosis. But a doctor will not just perform this procedure.
okay. And number two, for people who are thinking of getting this procedure because they have terrible periods, this is not for them either.
No. So if you have terrible periods, they'll try to get you on some like hormonal birth controls or other measures to help with the bad cycles. And I will say, personally, my experience after
Hmm.
getting this procedure done, my cycles became worse, like
Wow.
really worse. Like the difference is like day and night. My cycles are so bad now. Um, it's ridiculous. But I knew that for me, I didn't want to have any more children. So having to deal with those pains of my cycle for a week versus knowing I couldn't have any more children was it was beneficial for me. And just a little bit about myself.
Sure.
I needed not to have any more kids. I struggled very badly when I delivered my children. So my first son, I ended up in the ICU with some severe blood pressure issues, and then I also suffered from postpartum anxiety and mood disorders after I was home. So my like I said, they won't do the surgery just because you asked for it. I actually needed it. My doctors, advised me because of the complications that I have postpartum. It wasn't safe for me to have any more children.
Okay. Okay. And thank you for giving that disclosure, because some people, they just don't want to, they might say, I don't want to have any more kids, without realizing they probably do, without a medical problem, without something that is risky to their
Yes.
lives.
And
um
even then, when you say that, they give you time to think about it. Like it's not a, oh, I this is something I'm gonna do. I'm sure I don't want to have any more kids. No, they're gonna give time before they let you sign those papers to have it done, and the decision is made. Because like I said, once it's done, this is
it's
something
done.
permanent. It's done. Yep.
You can't go back on it and ask them to put it back. It's
No.
done.
No.
uh, all right, what are some of the potential risks or drawbacks associated with a scalp injectomy?
So the risks are like any other procedure. This procedure, they actually go right where your lower belly meets your pelvic area, and so it's risk like any other surgery, bleeding. They could puncture other organs in that area, but the success of this procedure is very high. Complications are slim to none. Um, and the drawbacks, like I said, personally, the drawbacks for me was the bad cycles, the heavy bleeding and the cramping that comes along when you get your cycle. That was the drawback for me. And then, of course, if you had to get this done because of medical procedures and you weren't allowed or you didn't have children already, that's a drawback. You may not be able to have kids if you get this done for other reasons, such as you have endometriosis or you've had abnormalities in your pelvic exam. So that would definitely be a drawback for those who don't have children already.
Okay. For those women out there listening who are scared to have it, they don't have enough information, or it is that they hear that this is a con of it in terms of the heavy bleeding. I mean, not because you haven't mean that that's something that they'll experience, but women who are going through situations, as I said, postpartum, they might be going through postpartum depression, they might be going through so many things, and it is something that they need, but they're afraid to get it. What would you say to them?
I would say speak to your provider and also speak to your family members. If you are on social media, join support groups. A lot of women have had this procedure done, and they're willing to share their story to help other women. I know I tell my story and share my experience to help other women. So if you're thinking about it and you're afraid, again, talk to your provider and then just try to reach out to other moms or other women and see, if they've had it done in their experience.
Love it, love it. Makayla, where is it that we can find you?
So you can find me first on TikTok. I'm on TikTok and my handle is Makayla Walker, and you'll see it's MW underscore postpartum warriors. And then you can also find me on Instagram at Kayla underscore so blessed. And then you can also find me on LinkedIn. My name, Makayla Walker, MakaylaWalker.
Love it. Thank you so much, Makayla, for stopping by and sharing with us and the listeners about salpingectomy. Thank you so much for that and giving us some insights on it, especially for people who have heard it, read up on it, or did their research on it, but they're still contemplating it. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And thank you to our listeners for continuing to listen to The Unfiltered by Jade. We'll be back next week, Tuesday. Thank you.
Bam bam bide, bam bam bide, badu bidi bam bam bide.